Hey guys, I'm about to start this Zoom meeting with my father. A little nervous, haven't done this actually ever with him before, ever. It's the first time. And when he comes on, will I just see him like a
No, he
smoke?
will take over. He will be.
Oh. Yeah, I'm gonna ask you some questions. There are things that I actually genuinely don't know anything about. Before we get started, welcome. My name is Habiba and I live in the USA. For those who don't know, here's a brief summary. My father is from northern Nigeria and my mother is Jamaican, raised in England, where they met and where I was born. At some point, my parents moved to Nigeria with me and my brothers, and we lived there for at least 10 years. But in 1986, my mother and brothers left Nigeria and have never returned. So, I have not lived with my father since I was 16, and a lot has happened since then. It's been 30 years since I left Nigeria, so I thought this was an opportunity to get to know him better. So now I can see you.
Right. You need to adjust the angle. Am I too top heavy?
No. I think you're perfect. Top heavy.
Oh.
You remind me of
Hey,
me.
where is she going? Where is she going?
She's so shy. She was just technical. She's so shy. She's just a technical. She already told me I don't want to be in the video.
Oh, plaster and barnacles.
Okay. Looks like it's a nice day there. Right? Considering we're like 5 hours apart. It looks like I'm looking at your background.
And there doesn't seem to be liking in the sound almost instantaneously.
So yeah, I was gonna ask you some questions like rapid fire and 1 minute answers or less. Nothing, it doesn't have to be long, just quick answers. And
engineers don't talk too much. You know that.
Right. Well, I was gonna call it maybe 20 questions with my father, something like that. I didn't count them.
Make it 25.
Okay, or 25. All right. Where were you born?
At Talata Mafara, in Talata Mafara local government area of Zamfara state in Nigeria.
Okay.
But
that's in Sokoto state, right? I mean, you said
no,
Zamfara.
It was formerly in Sokoto state, but now in Zamfara state.
Oh, is that what they call it?
Yes. Initially, the whole state was northwestern state, right?
Okay.
That was after the war. Then it was then we got Sokoto state, comprising now of the current Sokoto state,
right.
Zamfara state, and Kebbi state. Okay. So the old Sokoto state have been, broken into 3 states now.
Oh, I didn't know that. So when I say to people I'm from Sokoto, maybe they don't know what I'm saying.
No, they do. Because, although you may say, when you say you are from Zamfara or Sokoto, really the division is only on paper, but, okay. It is still the same people.
Okay. Yes. All right. What's your favorite color?
Well, put it this way. When I was in secondary school, the color of my house is what you are wearing, yellow.
Really?
So, yes. So I come, from the house I was living in was called Binman House, and our color was yellow. So I come to like yellow automatically. Okay. However, there are other colors I do admire, but not to wear. For example, purple. I like purple, but I don't want to wear it.
Right.
Pink, I think it is girlish.
Right.
But I also like gray. A lot of the walls in my house in Sokoto are colored gray, elephant gray.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Last thing you ate.
Chineke.
What's the last thing you ate?
All right. I have had some tuwo and ayayo. The green stuff I showed you yesterday. Ayayo. The stew is a little bit slimy, so you have it with a stew. I had a stew of chicken, so plus the ayayo soup. Mix it together.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Okay. And what would you say is your favorite food? If you
Hmm.
were, God forbid, you were dying or you had a life sentence and they said, pick one food that you can eat over and over.
All right. Again, the old Barriwa College had a great influence in my life. I
Okay.
come to like rice and beans,
Mm,
boiled up together
mm.
with a little bit of groundnut oil and onion fried into it. It gives a very nice flavor.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
The last place you traveled to in Nigeria?
The last place,
Mhm.
well, the last place I was out up from Abuja was actually in Kaduna, and I went by rail. We've got now a standard gauge rail between Abuja and Kaduna. Before it used to be, the narrow gauge, but now it is the standard gauge.
Okay. And we used to live in Kaduna when we were younger as kids, right?
That is correct.
I
You know,
remember. The last place you went outside of Nigeria?
well, it's actually at your home in
Oh,
North Carolina. But of course, from Abuja, we went through to Paris.
mm.
Then from Paris, we went straight to North Carolina.
This is video.
Oh boy. Another one?
All right. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, video.
Yeah, and then
Okay, everybody is in, and then press this.
yeah. Okay, so that was the last time you traveled abroad.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. What is the biggest misconception about Nigeria? Would you say
Well,
that the rest of the world in general?
yes, I mean, a lot of people feel that there is a lot of, all the people are corrupt, but it is not so. In any society, you get some bad elements,
Sure.
but unfortunately, it is the bad elements that, people tend to see rather
Right.
than the majority of the good ones.
Right.
Yes.
That's true. That's true. One thing you would change about Nigeria,
Hmm.
if you could.
Well, to make people more responsible. Here in Nigeria, we always tend to attack the leadership, but it's actually not the leadership. It's everyone that is concerned, right from the very top to the bottom. Because I mean, if people behave themselves and do things the way they should, it will be very difficult for the leadership to go astray. But for example, when you go to an office, following up, for example, your payment, you find that a messenger would be hiding, the file until you do something. And that to me is corruption, is not right.
Right. Just like I was watching a video and I was thinking, because I'm constantly entertaining the thought of going to Nigeria, and I was thinking, I saw like how people are so used to bribing people at the airport. And I was like, that's so unacceptable that people are doing their jobs, but they
Precisely.
expect to be bribed or given money to do their job. I'm like, that should not be acceptable.
Well, to tell you the truth, Habiba, I personally find that most irritating. When people, expect, to get something beside what they are, being paid legitimately, I think it is also very wrong.
Oh, absolutely. But it seems to happen and it seems to be acceptable.
Yes, and unfortunately, then you say, oh, the government is corrupt and all that. But really, it is not just the government, it is the people.
Right. All right, so this is going to throw you off maybe. Besides my mother, did you ever date a non-Nigerian?
Funny enough, no. Funny enough, no, Habiba. Dawn was the ultimate. And like I said, when we become separated, it wasn't another foreigner. It was a Nigerian. Yes.
Right. All
And
right.
the last time, in fact, I was abroad, especially in the UK, was in 1995 when I went with my father to attend the launching of the Windows 95.
Mm.
That was the last time I was actually in Britain.
Wow, wow, wow.
That was apart from 2 years back when I went to the stateside, that was the last time I traveled out of the country.
Wow.
So the issue of getting somebody outside outside Nigeria really did not arise.
No. And actually, I was kind of thinking before, like maybe before my mother.
No. If you recall, no, I'm not ashamed to tell you that. What I'm saying is, if you recall, I fancied one young lady here in the country. Unfortunately, things did not turn out right. And in fact, I decided, rather than to go through all that rigmarole, to live, since I had the opportunity to go to the UK for, to continue with my course, I left the ABU where I was to study electrical engineering. But if you also recall, at that time, ABU could not offer electronics. It was only electrical engineering. And I didn't want to lose the opportunity of, losing my scholarship to the university. So I went. But luckily, I would say, because of that turmoil I have had with the other young lady, I left and came to Britain to study electronics, what I've always wanted to do.
Right.
And that is how I met your mom.
Right. Now, how did you meet my mom? Like,
Actually,
where were you? How did you meet her? He laughed just like my brother Omar. He laughed like Omar. When Omar is shy or embarrassed, he has the same laugh.
I'm not embarrassed. What actually
shy.
During summertime, even in Britain, students go out and get temporary job. And I was lucky, I got an employment in the Nigerian High Commission in Northbourne Avenue, in London. And it was, at that time, your mom was working with some of the senior officers as a temporary secretary. Because in Britain at that time, when young ladies leave college, right, they don't immediately want to go and get a permanent job. So they go and register from to a company, and that company will send them to various organizations to work for them for a few weeks or months. But when she went to Nigerian High Commission, she was employed on permanent basis. That's how we met. Okay. Yes.
All right. So one last thing about her, because I know if she watches it, she'll be like, why did you ask him about me? I know she'll be like that. What was your...
Wait a minute. I used to, during our break, we used to go to the park.
Okay.
One of the, the snacks I loved in Britain was Cornish pasty. So I used to buy Cornish pasty, but she didn't want Cornish pasty, it was fat and all that jazz. So she will go for, what do you call it, either orange or one banana or whatever, light snacks.
She's always been on the health kick.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Right. What did your father say when you told him that you were, interested in a foreign woman?
Well, he wasn't surprised, to tell you the truth, because if you recall, he himself schooled in the UK, in Manchester.
Okay. No, I don't know Alhaji's past.
Okay. Well, actually, what I'm saying, I was not the first generation, to go to college in my family. He was.
Right.
He went actually to school twice in the UK, in Manchester, initially to study journalism.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So he wasn't surprised at all.
Right. But did you ever think like maybe you would have 4 wives or 3 wives with my mom?
No. I think each person have got his own way of thinking. You are very much aware. My dad have had 2 wives, and they lived amicably. But right from the word go, I was never interested in having more than 1 wife. In fact, how do you even cope up with 1 wife? Come to think of it.
I really don't know. I don't know. Right. Okay, if you think about, we'll change subject, accomplishments. what would you like to be known for? What would you like to be known for, your proudest accomplishments?
Well, that would be very, very, very difficult to say because it means like one is still alive blowing one's own trumpet. Put it this way, I loved what I did when I did it.
Right.
I mean, like I said, I've always wanted to be in electronics. And I had the opportunity to work, in one of the ACE broadcasting organization in the country.
Right.
At that time it was called BCNN, Broadcasting Company of Northern Nigeria. And they were broadcasting, television as well as radio. And I was initially taken as an engineer, but then I found myself as an engineer studios, both, looking after the equipment, for the television sound as well as radio sound. And that is how I went up. And eventually, as you are aware, I ended up being the chief engineer of Northwestern State Television, as it was called then. Okay. Later on, when it was taken over by the federal government as NTA Sokoto.
Right.
From there.
Right. Right. And then you went on to Abuja, right?
No, not Abuja, to Minna.
Oh, Minna. So wait, yes. Is Minna it's a part of Abuja, or it's
no.
completely different?
Minna is part of Niger State. I told you initially, the Northwestern State was covered Sokoto State,
right,
Niger State, and Kwara.
Okay.
So the television network at that time, is controlled from Sokoto and Niger State. So from there, as a chief engineer in Sokoto, I was sent to take over this, rather to start the station in Minna as NTA Minna. Right. And there at NTA Minna, while at the main station, we also set up a relay station in Bida and in Kwantagora. I was there from 1979. Then I was sent back to Sokoto, this time as the general manager.
Okay. So, yes. After we weren't there, after we left, you were back in Sokoto?
Yes, that was.
I didn't know that.
End of 1983. Oh. 1983, and then the first, the coup d'etat that was done for later Shagari was on the, first of, at the end of 1983, beginning 1984.
Okay, no, we were still there during Shagari's term.
Yes,
yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
Remember, we were in what you call Guiwa, our location. Remember the big house in Guiwa? Yes.
I mean, I'm sure I visually remember the house, but I didn't remember the location where it was called.
Right, it was Guiwa.
Mm-hmm. It's funny too, with you working in, television and stuff, and being around television stations, when people always seem to wonder, like me doing YouTube and being, liking the camera, I always feel like they have no idea. I think it was inspired by my father, because as long as I can remember, I remember being around the television stations and videos and cassettes and cameras.
Also photography, remember?
And photography, yes.
I processed my own pictures. During the time, for example, I was in the UK, there was no color photography. It was all black and white.
Right,
but in Sokoto, for example, I had a dark room. In Kaduna, I had a dark room where, I process my own pictures.
Right,
and I'm always taking pictures.
Right.
And not only that, I ensure that I always put a date behind each photo.
And I do that too. I'm obsessed with if someone sends me a picture or my mom sends me a card, I always get upset if it's not dated, because I'm like, How am I going to look back and not know when the date was? If you didn't live in Nigeria, where would you live?
Good gracious me. I never given it a thought. But, one of the places I really, I was joking even with your mom that I would really like to live was, funny enough, Jamaica.
Oh, really?
But I was telling Dahiru, Jamaica is not a place you go with where your mother-in-law is. I love the coconuts, and then being on the hammock.
Right. It would remind you of Nigeria or Africa in general, right? It's very green.
Yes, so natural down there.
Very warm.
Yes. And again, I found Jamaica also a misunderstood nation because people feel that everybody in Jamaica is a Rastafarian and
right.
is a
or smoking
music
weed
maker.
or something, right?
Yes, but it is not so.
No. All right, let's see. Can you name your children and how old they are? All your children. The names
right.
and how old?
Okay.
All of us.
Well, I think there's one young lady somewhere in the Americas. I think she was born in August 1970. I think so.
You just told people how my age.
No, who said it is you?
I know. Actually, everyone should know my age. I put it out there.
Remember, you always said age is just a number.
That's right. That's right.
Exactly.
That's right. Exactly.
It is not the years.
Exactly.
That are
35.
Exactly. Then there was the reserved young man who was born in what do you call it in July 18th.
Okay.
Yes.
You remember?
It's a coincidence. The other boy here was also born on that is MBT Junior. He's also born on the 18th of July.
Wow. I didn't know that.
All right.
Okay.
Well, now you know. Then there is what do you call it? The I wouldn't say
the rebellious one.
Yes.
Actually, he's not rebellious.
No, he is. He's all right. Honestly, yes.
He's just a passionate person. If you know.
Yes. He was born in 1976 at Sokoto.
Yes.
Remember? Then after that, then there was a long null, and then there is Aisha.
Okay. How old is
let me see. Let me see how she is. Bless her and barnacles. I'm sure she'll go and kill me.
Oh my God! I bet she'll be upset with you not knowing.
No, it's not that I'm not knowing. Let me see. I think 1989. Okay. 1989. Abba, he was born on the 18th July.
Okay.
19 what? Is it 1993? Were they about?
I wasn't there.
Honestly, I can remember things when I was 4, 5, but things that happened yesterday, I find it difficult, to up there. Maybe the memory is so filled up. I better go and clean it up.
All right, but then you have another girl, right? There's like a younger girl.
That is Hafsat. The Hafsat is honestly every bit like you.
Really?
Yes. Really very open, very honestly, she just reminds me of you every time.
I've never met her before.
Yes. And let me see. She was born in Lagos, actually.
Due to technical difficulties, we lost audio, but this is the youngest, Ibrahim. The youngest of my father's 7 children, which is interesting because he never really wanted a lot of kids, at least when we were growing up, but he has 7, a total of 7 of us. Oh, okay. So would you say you're independent now, or you consider yourself an entrepreneur or a businessman, or how would you describe your position or state now? Or are you retired?
A retired, contented old man. I know I'm free to enjoy my hobby, getting into computers, putting them to pieces, building new ones, and of course the radio also. I still go on air. Okay. But not as I used to be, not as I used to do before.
Right. What would you say is the biggest blessing about being older or aging?
Well, here in Nigeria and in most Black communities, people do respect their elders.
Right.
Unlike some of the Western world countries, not all the Western world countries. For example, I know, for example, Japan and China, they do also revere their old people, but not so much as in Europe or maybe the Americas, where, you know, when you get old, they send you to old
Nursing home.
people's home. Yes.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if it's a lack of respect, or I don't know, or it's just the way society has been built. I'm not sure. I mean, I personally know it's not something I would want to do to my mother, but some people don't have a choice, maybe because of medical problems or the houses. I don't know. They just don't have the resources to take care of them themselves. There isn't that extended family network like you have in Nigeria.
Yes, but you know, Habiba, one of the things which a lot of people here do not understand, they find it odd. For example, in the Western world, you know, the parents, when they bring their children, they will show them so much love as if they can swallow them whole, right? But the moment they leave the nest, so to say, that is it. I mean, as if, you know, a wild animal, you know, it will rear, it is young, but at a certain age,
get cut off, move on.
They cut off the relationship.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I feel like I will adopt or have adopted both sides. You know, I mean, I feel like I'm gonna be or have been very close to my kids. And yeah, I've never been, you know, never thought about, oh, you're 18, you need to be out and done. You know, I still feel like we're gonna be close even when they're of age or can do for themselves. And I also feel like I would never put my mother in a nursing home. That's just never going to happen. You know, even if she fights that she doesn't want to live with us, because I don't know, you know, mommy's perspective is like, I don't want to be a burden. I don't want to live with you. You've got your life.
I know right inside her, she wants to be very close to her grandchildren. And there's no way she can be close to her grandchildren without being close to you.
Right. So Khalid, right? This is Khalid says to us, my oldest son, that he doesn't care about, you know, dating, or he doesn't care about, you know, finding someone. He wants us to find someone for him, like arranged marriage. So Kenton was like, you know, we're going to ask you that, is it possible if he could get a housewife wife and she would be educated?
Certainly. No, on a serious note, I think somewhere along the line, you know, he has not forgotten his root.
Because he's never had those roots.
Well, listen.
I don't know where he got that from.
Let me land. Even lilies, you know, lily in the water. Now even lily have roots, Habiba. No, on a serious note, I mean, here, for example, you know, families play quite a lot, you know, regarding, you know, the issue of their children's marriage. For example, if, for example, say a young man is interested in a particular young lady, one of the first things that will happen is, you know, a search is made. What I mean, find out who are the parents of that young lady. What do they do? Are they from a respectable family, and so on and so forth? And the same thing also goes on the girl's side. Her own family will find about the prospective groom. You know, is he trustworthy? The children, you know, parents responsible, and so on and so forth. So really, I mean, it is not like the Western world where, for example, overnight, your son will come and say, mommy, I've got a girlfriend, or this is the girl I'm going to marry. Just take you for you know, a surprise like that. It doesn't happen here.
Right. Or, so well, I would say not necessarily like that, but the emphasis here, I think, is on love, falling in love, or the affection that you feel for someone. It's not a business arrangement, you know, or arrangement between families.
No, what I'm saying is, even if there is an affection between the two people involved, but search is still being made. For example, nowadays, even blood tests is conducted to
Really?
make sure that, you know, yes, really. Incidentally, your what do you call it, cousin, remember my younger brother, Ahmed, you know, Amadou,
Yes.
Nana's son?
Yes.
His son got married last month. No, not last month, this month, on the 15th.
Okay.
You know, a young lady from Kasina. And like I said, we were all involved, find out, you know, about the background of the girl, and they also did their research. But we didn't play a single role in bringing them together per se. Okay. I mean, they saw one another and they liked one another. But when the issue came up there that they wanted to be together for life, that is then where the parents come in.
Right. Right.
Yes.
I mean, I can see it kind of both ways. I can kind of, but on the other hand, I don't know. How do you get to know someone just by looking at them? Or how do you get to know someone without dating them?
I mean, no, you get to talk to, you know, to get to talk to them. But of course, it is not like the kind of thing that goes on, you know, in the West. I mean, I mean, the girl and the boy, they don't come physical until actually after the marriage. You know,
right.
The issue of boyfriend, girlfriend in the Western world does not really exist here. For example, I mean, in the West, when you say this is his girlfriend or this is boyfriend, I mean, nobody lift an eyebrow if they are together and they sleep together. But here it is not done.
Right.
Until actually the marriage proper is taking place.
Right. I get what you're saying, but I always feel like it's always skewed in favor of men, because men there do sleep with women without being married. Right? I mean, or it's not as frowned upon as if a woman did it. I mean, is every young man there a virgin?
No. I don't know about that per se, but what I'm saying is the feeling is there. But really, what I'm saying is even the young people, you know, the men, that is, people frown at somebody going down there and you know, with a young lady who is not married to. Right. But of course, society is changing. Unfortunately, some of these things, we see it coming from virtually all sides of the society, from all the reason, whether from the West, East, or North.
Right. Right.
When you insist on that, you know, they think because they have gone to school, therefore to wait until they get married is old-fashioned. You know, but what I'm saying is, you still find a lot of the families still hold that value. You know, they don't until they are married. Sure. Period.
Okay, yes. So Khalid can come there and find a wife.
Oh, sure. Dr. Karima.
Right.
You know, she was in the States some years back. She was actually with your mom in New York.
Okay, well, I know I saw her in the States like maybe 10 years ago, maybe 10 years or under.
Yes.
She came to Washington. That's the last time I saw her.
On my birthday, it's 11th of March, she was elevated to a professor of medicine, you know, what is the name, that terminology you put, the doctor who looks after young children?
Pediatrician?
Right, professor of that.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes. That was,
I thought she was GYN, gynecology.
Yes, you know, I was telling her that she made my day. It was 11th of March.
Wow, yeah, your birthday. Congratulations, Karima, if you're watching this. She's slightly younger than me. Right, she's married now and has kids, I imagine.
And two of her daughters are also studying to be doctors, medical doctors in the Sudan.
Oh, okay.
Not Nigeria, in Sudan.
Okay.
They're just about to graduate as doctors, yes.
Wow, that's interesting. Wow. Wow.
So we got so many doctors in the house. Yourself, Dr. Karima, her two
Right.
daughters, Dr. Ibrahima Azam in Ireland.
In Ireland, right. And
Yeah.
now Khalid also, he's graduating college, but he's going to do a post-bac before going to medical school. So he's going to be working
Right.
for the NIH before going to med school. Right.
That's great. That's great. That's great. Yes.
So Daddy, my last question for you is, what would you like to do with the rest of your life ideally? What's your goal, or what's your best hopes?
Well, to really honestly, Habiba, to bring back together the family together. You know, things have happened, and we have no control over our fate, but we don't have to be enemies. You know, for example, you see, one of the things that I found most amusing and I was pleased was, you remember when I was coming to US 2 years back?
Right.
Your mom said, oh no, I shouldn't even think of getting to New York, blah, blah, blah. She doesn't want to us to meet and all that. But what happened? When Bashir said he was going to come over to see his dad, didn't she jump in his car and came together?
Right.
You know.
If she were watching, what would you say to her? Any message for her?
Yes. What I mean is my feeling towards her have not changed. I mean, both of us have made grave mistakes, but that is what human beings do. But does not mean to say always to go back and on the bad issues and so on. I mean, life is too short for that. Life is too short for that. Let us make the best of whatever little moments we have together. We can still be friends. I mean, the thing is, there's no way keeping us apart. I mean, we have family together. Right. I mean, you are not a ghost. Omar is not a ghost. Bashir is not a ghost. You are there. You are living. No matter how much anyone think about it, he cannot separate us. That is it. And again, I honestly look forward to coming over again before I pass over.
Well, I hope so. I hope so. When it's all safe to do, I'm sure we will. Just like I would like to come to Nigeria, you know, at some point while you're alive.
That's true.
Right.
Well, we pray to Almighty Allah to keep to save up our days until we meet again in the country here.
Right.
Yes.
Right. Well, thank you very much, Daddy.
You're welcome, Habiba. And don't forget the watermelon seeds.
Yes, I promise I'll send watermelon seeds.
This is some of the things I do enjoy doing. You know, I read quite a lot.
Right.
I also watch a lot of your, what do you call it?
YouTube?
YouTube on my big screen.
Right.
Okay, Habiba, nice speaking with you.
Okay.
Say Anjima, say Watarana.
Say Anjima, say Watarana. Be safe.
Bye.
Bye. We hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you soon. Bye.